My personal feeling about prefabrication is that it is probably going to be one of the solutions for the quote unquote housing crisis that we're going through. And I think it's also, generally speaking, a natural and logical way for construction to develop into. And I think part of that is also, as a long term trend, materials are getting more expensive and labor is getting more expensive. And I don't think that's ever going to go backwards. It's part of what living in a developed country means. I think prefabrication provides a way for at least part of the construction industry to streamline the product. And by streamline, I also mean in terms of program and in terms of quality. But also the other one is it gives more certainty. So the thing about prefabrication is you move what is traditionally done on site, which is an uncontrolled environment. So if it rains, you can't work. But with prefabrication, whether it rains or shines, you can, because you're making parts of a structure inside a controlled environment, you take that part of the uncertainty out of the process. There are its own inherent problems, and it's a different set of problems that you need to find solutions for. For instance, the supply chain is something that I can be very frank and say we did have some issues with, just getting a shipment of materials from Europe. We were delayed in this case because of what's happening in international waters, but that happens to everything that's made globally, and we were able to work around that. Where I see this fitting in the Australian context is if we are really aiming for more densification, if we're aiming to build more houses than we have ever built before in the history of Australia, I think prefab needs to be part of the solution, because there's just no way of getting enough workers to every possible site that you can think of where houses need to be built. And I don't think it's feasible to do it at scale. So at the moment, prefabrication in construction is about 3%. I've read studies where this will probably double in the next couple of years, because you are able to take parts of the construction process off-site, and also you can dovetail and overlap parts of the program. You can do site works at the same time as you're manufacturing windows and structural systems. So what we learned from this project is a macro understanding of sequencing and a lot of little different steps with designing for and building this project. So for instance, I think the layout, the materials and the detailing and whatnot for different projects might vary. And of course, things like where a site's located might vary, but the lessons learned that we are actually currently applying to different sites and different projects and different clients is just how to sequence and how to manage and coordinate a project of this scale and this nature. And I think that's going to be something that we will definitely be refining as we go and developing more capacity for, and hopefully getting better and better. There's a saying I really like is don't try to reinvent the wheel with every new thing you do. So I think we really want to take that to heart with these projects that we do for. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We're developing our detailing and our design and our processes with every project that we do, which involves passive house, which involves prefab. And I think the end goal for that is really just to make the design more refined, make the product more refined, and also hopefully make it more economical in the long run.